Whew. All right, hot one for you right here, right now. This one is for all the new agency owners, the ones who are needing to develop their authority and their credibility so that they can get better clients. And so I'm going to give you one trick that was given to me at the beginning of my career. So let's go. So this lesson comes to you from an old mentor of mine. At the beginning of my career, he took a look at an invoice that I handed to him, and it was for 8 hours of work for $100 an hour. Now, technically it was a project fee, but he looked at it, he's like, hey, this is a day rate, 1 day, and that's equivalent of $100 an hour. He went ahead and wrote a check for that invoice, but he gave me this advice for me to be able to build up case studies, which are far more powerful than just a simple testimonial. To be able to build up case studies, he said, go do free work, but you don't want to do just free work. Because if you go out and you say, hey, I'll do this thing for you for free, you have zero value. Because that's what people are paying you. You have zero value. So what he said to do was go find a client, someone who wants what you have. They're unsure of you because you're new. You don't have really any credibility yet. And so they're going to take a chance on you. They really don't want to spend much money, if any, on taking that chance. So here's what you negotiate with them. It's not simply, I'll work for you for free. What you do is you say, hey, my day rate or my project fee or my monthly rate is X, whatever that amount is. And in my case, that was $800 a day is what I charged, equivalent of $100 an hour. So the trick is, during this negotiation, you say, here's what my rate is. Whatever your rate happens to be, here's my rate. And I will do this project for you at this rate, but I will give you a case study discount of the equivalent of my rate. So if the rate is going to be $800, you would write on the invoice the line item, $800 for the project, then case study discount minus $800, amount owed in the total, zero. And that goes into the agreement. So you actually have a real agreement that both you and the client have agreed upon its actual value. And I know it sounds like semantics, but it's very important to have this in, because there's this psychological connection in that client's mind that this actually does have real value, and that they are getting the discount because they're going to be a part of your case study, and that they're signing over the rights to you to show their image, to show their logo, to talk about the project, minus any types of details that would be like trade secrets, things that would cause a disadvantage to them in front of their competitors. So you want to make sure that there's that language inside that agreement for your case study, that you're allowed to use their likeness, their logo, and to be able to talk about the project without divulging anything proprietary. Okay? Very critical. Next step. They agree to this. You go and do your work, and you do the best work you can possibly do. So I had that $800 day rate, and I treated that one day that I worked for them to the best of my ability, as if I was working on a far larger project, like I was working on an $8,000 project. I gave that $800 project as much as I would give to an $8,000 project. I wanted to make sure that my case study was amazing, because not only would I get a great case study, I would also get referrals from this account. I would most likely get additional work from this account because I will have gone above and beyond. And that's what I did. I did get paid that $800. I did get to make a case study out of it. I even got a letter of recommendation from the CEO of that company that I used in marketing. I actually photocopied it and used that, like turned it sideways and used it in an ad. I did everything I possibly could to maximize one of my earliest projects. And then I did take his advice. I did go to my next account, a larger one that I was trying to land, and I did the case study discount. So use this thing, use this technique to be able to grow your business. You don't want to do it very often. You don't want to do this as everything. You don't want to do every single one of your beginning projects this way. You do need to get paid, because I have a rule. Rule number one, you must eat. You have to pay your bills. So if you're gonna get $800, and I needed that $800 2 decades ago, I needed it because I had bills to pay, and I paid those bills. So I had to make that one work. But my next one, because I paid my bills, I went off, next project I did for free with a case study discount, and then I made an in-depth case study, put it on my website. I created a press release. I did some of my own ads. I put all of it together and used that to then project greater authority and deep credibility with all my future prospects. So that's the trick. That's the thing that you need to do, and it will turn your new agency into a powerhouse. It will give you the necessary credibility with future prospects that will say, yes, I want to work with that person. But here's something that's very important. You don't want to do this with just anyone. Most of my work today is around agencies. Agencies, consultants, other B2B service providers. I focus on that. Why? Well, because that's where I'm also investing. So I make this content and I'm creating case studies, and all that is around this type of work because, well, that's who I wish to invest in. I get them as clients, but the ultimate goal is to build a portfolio of investments. So when not to use this technique? So at the beginning of my career, I did a lot of work with tech companies, value-added resellers, software companies, back when software was sold in cardboard boxes in stores, like that old school kind of selling. And those were my first clients. I worked with a lot of those up in the Pacific Northwest. So when I wanted to impress future prospects, the goal was simply to get a known software company, a known value-added reseller in the area to do a project with me. I didn't want to do a case study discount on just any company, like going and doing something for a roofing company or a hair salon or a dentist or just any type of project. It was not in my best interest to do something like that, do free work for one of those accounts, because I didn't want more of those. I wanted more software companies. I wanted more companies that were already in line with the things that I was connected with, I had an affiliation to. So those other types of clients, I took them on. I did, but they paid me. They didn't pay me a lot, but they paid me enough that I could pay my bills, and that allowed me to continue to grow. And I did not use them as case studies. I only brought them up whenever I needed to get another account like that. If somebody got a hold of me, we met at a networking event, and they said, oh, I want online and offline marketing. That's what you do. That's amazing. I want that for my company, but they weren't in my tech sphere that I was after. I charged them money. I did not give them even the opportunity to do a case study discount. So when you're looking at that future work, don't do free work for people that you do not intend to continue working with on into the future. So a small software company that I would do a case study discount for, that project would then allow me to get access to a bigger software company. And then I now had a name that paid me money. That becomes part of my other testimonials. It becomes part of my referral network. So those things would allow me to expand my sphere of influence, my reach in the area in which I wish to work. That is how critical this is. So do not just do free work for anyone. Do only free work for those that will build your reputation, highlight your expertise, and give you credibility in the industry in which you wish to be known. I hope you got value out of this case study discount concept. The thing that helped me kick off my career, taught to me by one of my early mentors, a CEO of a software company. I want you to use it strategically and be able to grow your agency's credibility so that you start generating revenue from larger clients faster. So what I'd like you to do right now is like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, follow, do all the socials, and I will talk to you in the next video.